In the final video of our grading the 2022 Green Bay Packers series, we are wrapping it up with our defensive backs and special teamers. Now, for players who appeared in both, such as Keyshawn Nixon, their stats will appear separately for DB and special teams and will be graded separately. The same grading system will apply as in the previous videos, with A being incredibly good, B being above average, C being average, D being disappointing, and F being why the heck are you still on the team. So let's go ahead and get started with the defensive backs. After a really solid rookie season in 2021, Eric Stokes struggled a bit in 2022 before suffering a season-ending injury in Week 9 against the Lions. All of his advanced stats did get worse between the seasons, with his completion percentage against increasing to 80%, yards per completion increasing to 13.1, and a passer rating against increasing to 123.5, which is insane. His counting stats were okay, with getting about 26 total tackles in 9 games, but no pass deflections and no interceptions in his second season. He is still a young player trying to figure things out in the league, and he does have all the tools to do so. I think he will have a really solid 2023, but for 2022, I have to give him a grade of C-, as he didn't really live up to his incredible rookie year before going down with an injury. Alright, so this is a player that we're going to have to grade twice, as he contributed well on both defense and on special teams. So the first mention of him is going to be from his defensive contributions. Keyshawn Nixon appeared in about 28% of defensive snaps, primarily as a nickel corner, and played really solidly in that role. He was targeted 29 times and gave up 20 catches, which isn't the greatest, but he had a passer rating against of 85.7 and a yard per target of 10.1 and did give up 1 touchdown. He also had 23 total tackles, a forced fumble, 2 pass defended against, and 1 interception for his counting stats. A pretty solid season out of a guy who was mainly a fourth corner in the defense. And so for his defensive efforts, I am giving him a grade of C+, as he was really solid in that role. But Keyshawn Nixon's main contribution to the team in 2022 was his special teams performance, as he was an absolute game changer as the main kick returner for the Packers. How he wasn't the guy from the beginning of the season is absolutely insane. In just half the season returning kicks, he led the lead in kick return yards with 1,009, averaging 28.8 yards per return. Field position really, really good, and had a 105-yard kick return touchdown against the Vikings. He was named an All-Pro this season for his efforts, and as of today, we were able to bring back Keyshawn Nixon on a 1-year, $6 million deal, as he made field position turn into our favor for the first time forever. We found our kickoff guy, and I'm so happy we brought him back. And for his special teams contribution to the Packers, he is getting an A+, as he completely changed the game. Building off of his breakout 2021 campaign, and where he was absolutely amazing pickup halfway through the season off the Arizona Cardinals practice squad, Douglas had another solid season in 2022, but as expected, his numbers did dip overall in terms of production compared to his outstanding 2021 season, as he gave up 54 completions on 84 targets with the yards per completion of 10.8 and a passer rating against of 88.5, which is still pretty solid, just not his otherworldly performance in 2021. And his counting stats were very good as well this year, having 85 total tackles, 4 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, 13 pass deflections, and 4 interceptions, which was fantastic. Overall, still a very successful season for Rasul Douglas, who may be moving to safety, where his ball-hawking playstyle will be a much better fit, all depending on what the Packers decide to do in their defense. But overall, for 2022, I'm going to give Rasul Douglas a grade of B+. Returning from injury from his 2021 campaign, Jair was just as good, if not better, than his fantastic 2020 season. When he was allowed to man up on a guy, he proved that he is an elite corner. Just look what he did against Justin Jefferson in Week 17 against the Minnesota Vikings, where he locked him down. The bad thing is that Joe Barry doesn't always allow Jair to do what he's good at, which did lead him to being burned sometimes as he was out of coverage because he wasn't being allowed to go man on man. But he still had an amazing season. On 82 targets, he gave up 49 completions, 11.7 yards per completion against, 2 touchdowns given up, and a passer rating against of 63.7. He also had 56 total tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 14 pass deflections, and 5 interceptions. Alexander was named a second-team All-Pro and to his second career Pro Bowl as well. Another fantastic season for one of the best corners in the NFL, and I'm giving Jair a grade of A for this season. Coming over from Chicago to be the starting punter for the Pack, O'Donnell had a solid, if not spectacular, season. He had 52 total punts with a net average of 40 yards, 24 of them inside the 20, and only 1 touchback, and sadly had 2 of his punts blocked, showing that there's still some work to do with the special teams. Nothing too much stands out for O'Donnell. He was a very serviceable guy on the team, so I'm giving him a grade of C. In his 16th NFL season, the Silver Fox had another good season, but you can tell that age is starting to catch up with Mason, as he really did struggle kicking from longer distance this year. He made 25 of his 29 field goals, going a perfect 18 from 18 from inside 40 yards, 6 for 7 from 40 to 49 yards, and only 1 for 4 from over 50 yards. He also made 37 of his 39 extra points for a total of 112 points scored this season. He can still make kicks accurately, but he is starting to struggle from distance. I mean, the guy is old. He's almost 40 years old. But still another good season, and I'm going to give him a grade of C+. Lastly, I just want to give a shout out to the rookie long snapper Jack Coco, who did have some struggles early on in the season as he was adjusting to the NFL, but ended the season pretty solidly, nothing too spectacular. Not much to say, just want to give a shout out to the long snapper, and I'm giving him a grade of C for the season. So to end this series of reviewing the Packers, let's take a look at the overall grades for each position. And as you see on the screen right now, the overall grade for the team is a C. As the team was above average in a good amount of categories, but also below average in others. Like, we were solid in defensive backs, special teams was decent this year, running backs were good, and quarterbacks, offensive line, and linebackers were a little bit above average, but average positions from the wide receivers and defensive line, which was brought down by a couple of players, and below average in the tight end, and especially the safety department really brought down the overall on this team, which ended up with a grade of C. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and in the future I'll be coming up with some videos related to NFL free agency. If Aaron Rodgers gets traded, I'm going to be breaking that all down and stuff. And pretty soon I'm going to be releasing a Milwaukee Brewers preseason prediction video, as baseball is just around the corner. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you guys again next time.